Today we are going to look at the Job Planner module in Common CMMS. The Job Planner module is where you can aggregate jobs to be done at a particular time, as you would, for example, when you have a planned plant stoppage or a production line stoppage, for example. It is also a tool that you can use to schedule the sequence of works that you're going to do during that period. At the end of that period, after you've done all that work, you can comment on the aggregate, on the group of work, on the things that you've done, and leave notes and tips for future sequence of jobs of the same type that happened during the same conditions of your plant. That you can use a handy time chart to help you plan and schedule that sequence of works. The Job Planner module is inside the maintenance menu. It's over here, so you click on that. And once you click on it, you go to the Job Plan Search Console, which is what we have here. So as is usual with almost any Common CMMS modules, to create a new template, you click on the button on the Search Console, which is where we are. You click on the plus Job Plan in this case. And then in here, you'll probably leave the assignment options as they are. Most people will do that, so just for now we'll just leave them as they are. And then for the job plan, as an example, I have something prepared here for the 6 months production line 1. So you are restricted by the amount of characters that you can put in here, but you can be a bit more descriptive on the description, and you can basically write a bit more. So this is the 6-month production line 1 regular overall. So we are assuming, or for this example, we are thinking that the production line 1 is going to stop for some time. So let's say for a week. So we put into here the start date and the end date. We put the start date can be I don't know, like to the 29th of April, and the end date will be a week later on the 6th of May. Okay, so we can then start the new job plan template, and this is what you see. This is the full duration of the job. So the start is April 29th and the end is May 6th, as we just added. So the way that this works now is you will start adding, there's a few ways to do this, but you'll start adding work orders to be included in this job. So one way is the work order ID, and for example, I know that I'm just adding something here. Like I'm adding a work order now as an example that I know exists in this system. Example, what we are going to do on this line is let's say this is the first job that we're going to do. So it starts on the 29th, so I can't put anything that starts before that. If I do that, I'll get not an error. Yeah, I'll get a warning, just not an error actually, to say that you can't do it because that's outside of the full time, the duration of this job plan. So it has to be after the 29th or on the 29th. So let's say, okay, we're going to do this job on the 30th and we'll end on the same day. And we'll start this when the first shift comes in at 8 o'clock. So this is the hours, this is the minutes, and it's just 2 hours. It's just some kind of job. I'm not really sure what 811 is. And you also can change the color, and we'll say that the things that we need to do in preparation are in green color, just as an example, and then we can just add this item. And as you can see in here, this is going to start showing a bit more than you can see it right now. This has been pulled in. It's in green color, and the description for that work order, is just this: has equipment, has tool, has tasks. It's just a test work order. It starts on the 30th of April at 8 o'clock and it ends at 10 on the same day. And you can have a better description of what's going on in here. So let me just add another one. So we'll say like the next one, and this one is, okay, it starts at 10 o'clock, so right after this, and it ends at 11 o'clock, just as an example. So we can add that. So we've got another green one that happens right after on here. Okay, so just as another example on manual work order ID inputs to a job plan, I'll say 814, and this one will actually take a lot longer. So let's say that we go until the 1st of May and from 8 o'clock to say 11 p.m. and we do that, and you see that it's a much longer job here, and because for some reason we'll just change that to red, and there you go. So that's a red. This is again the total project duration. This is the duration of each task over here. So what I've shown you until now is how you add work orders here one by one. There's also another thing that you can do, and I've just realized that actually the note is for when you don't put anything in here, because you can also have a milestone. So let's say milestone for this project, milestone 1, and that will be on the, for example, on the 2nd of May. And we don't want a duration for, I mean, we want a duration, but we'll just go from, I would say from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock on that day. It's a milestone. It's something that is not a work order. It's something that if we do that, I can code milestones to be yellow. Okay, so I can add all milestones like this. I call it milestone. Like I said, this can be some note, something of note, something that needs to happen that is not a work order. Okay, so let me summarize what we've done until now. We've added work orders one by one. We've added things that are not work orders. I call them milestones. But there's another way that we can add items to this list, and that is by going to work orders. And you can imagine that if you have a lot of work orders that are waiting to be done during a planned stoppage, they're on this big list that you have here, and you'd go and say, okay, so I want to do, just as an example, we can go and look for something that is perhaps in wait for material, just as an example, just so we have less. Oh, we don't have any waiting for material. Okay, so we can do something that is paused, perhaps, if we have something in there. Okay, so we have this work order that is paused. You can filter out and get as many work orders as you want on that filter. Perhaps you have been tagging your work orders as in overall job, so you'll just come here and look for a tagged with overall jobs, so you get everything that has that you want to do during that work on this list here. And then what you do is you see here, add to job plan. So I only have one, but we could have hundreds, so it's the same procedure. So we click on add to job plan, and it will say, okay, add results to job plan, and it will give you some information and like some instructions. The one that we want to do and add things to is here. So okay, there's a limitation right now of I think 20 spots, 20 jobs, but we can increase that for you if required. One item to add. Which one we're going to use? We're going to use this one, and we add it. One item was successfully imported to the selected job plan. So let's go and look at the job plan, and we should see that this work order is there. Start. Okay, and it imported, but it did not know when you want to do this, so it just took on the full time of the project. To change that, you can do something. You can go to the edit. So you'd have multiple work orders here. All of them would take this time, and now you need to adjust that. So you come to the edit page for this job, and it's this one that we want to change in the way that we do it. So let's say that when does this end? It ends on the 6th of May. So this is like, it's the one of the last jobs. So click once in there, and then you choose, let's say that we're gonna do this on the 3rd, and there you go. And what time? You click in here and say, okay, it's at 8 o'clock. So there we go, and this we can change to purple. There we go. You got that job there. You can see that the resources have been pulled up from the work order, so you can manage resources, but you don't need to edit anything because this is just being pulled up from the work order. So if you want to change that, you'll change it on the work order, and this gets updated. So this is your list of jobs, and this is your plan for when they are going to happen. The So like you now do start doing the job and you proceed the usual way. As you finish work orders, you complete them, you close them and all that. At the end of the job, after you have the meeting to ensure that everything went on all right, and just a catch-up meeting on what has happened during that overall. After all of that has been done, you can, oh by the way, you can edit things related, including the duration of the job over here. So if it takes another week for unexpected reasons, you can come here and change that and plan jobs now for the increased for the extra time that you've got. And then this is where you put in the final job report, and is where you do that. So you can also come here. Okay, so let's just save the report. Just saving the report, and we can come here for the report. The report will forever be in here. And the job plan, set job plan is complete. You can say yes, okay, I've done the job, so let's finish this. So you don't see this, the warning there, but you really want to change the job plan status. Yes, I do. And okay, that's done. It's forever stored in the system, and you can come back here and you can see what has happened and how you performed. And of course, it's not so useful if you have just completed the job and you come here the day after. This is more in a couple of years, in or next year, when the same conditions in the plant are also are coming up, and you can come up here and see how things went for that sequence of work during that stoppage of the plant. So you can then plan the new job for that year based on what has happened on this year. And you can see here that you've got the job plan reports and all of that. So this helps you and lets you use this in your own way for your own case with the tools that we provide. I think this is quite powerful. It's a way to add more organization to your procedures. Most plants will have planned stoppage, will have planned maintenance periods, and this is a way to further organize information for the future and to make your work in the future more efficient, faster. Thank you very much. See you in the next one.